Hello, welcome to Polities on the Wheel J, and happy weekend. How's the week? How you doing? And for our new viewers, please do well to hit the subscription button and the notification button to get much more of our video. So now,
power is derived from the people, obviously, and when this happened, let me go into a few things. I remember Chiani is his name, the general, the current leader, and a statement that the military in Niger were making anyway, that when they were going after terrorists, Bazoum, the president, said to them, stop, don't. He was getting orders from the French not to go after the terrorists, and people are dying. Okay? So it therefore means that quite a few of the so-called democratically elected presidents across the continent are nothing but puppets, and that they are propped up by Western powers, not in the interest of the common persons or of the people, but in the interest of those, if you like, masters. Okay?
the coup in Guinea, there have been so much reaction across the globe concerning the decision of the ECOWAS, to use military force to return back democracy in Niger. And again, drama at the National Assembly yesterday as a ministerial list that was released, the last one, one of the minister nominee was withdrawn, Mrs. Miriam, and was replaced by Festus Kayamo. We know Festus Kayamo as somebody who runs his mouth so much well and is well known for a lot of lies across the country. Even with the EU report after the presidential election or the general election on February, there was also citation in the report where Kayamo and FFK were, indicted to be one of those people who spread fake news. Now, the APC-led administration, you can remember that the national chairman resigned some weeks ago, and also the North Central chairman resigned some weeks ago. Now, we now have the former governor of Kano State as the current chairman of the All Progressive Congress. The reaction to all this is that we are now having a government that is compiled or filled with a lot of criminals. I beg your pardon? No, that is not my words. That is what people are saying on the streets. They said that we are having a government filled with criminals, especially for the governor of Kano State, the former governor of Kano State, who was indicted or alleged to have collected bribe during his time as a governor of the state. And he's supposed to be cooling his head with the EFCC or try to explain how he was able to receive such amount of money. But then, that's not the case. He has been rewarded with the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress. When are we going to have freedom in this country when it comes to trustworthy leadership and people with competency and with clean hands ruling us or guiding or governing this country? Back to the issue of the coup in Guinea, there have been wide reports that the ECOWAS will launch a military action tomorrow, in Guinea. And as a result of that, the president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is well seen as the president-elect by Yakubu, the INEC chairman. Now, the president have written to the Senate yesterday, being 4th of August, seeking the approval of the Senate as they will be closing border as well as cutting off the electricity supply to Niger Republic, although we have heard that there have been already a cutoff from Niger Republic before his letter was sent to the Senate, and also other measures and sensitization of Nigerians who are living in Niger and Nigeria as well. That also that a military intervention to return back democracy in Niger Republic. And in that letter to the Senate, it was read on the upper chamber by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio yesterday. Now, there is this widespread of argument on social media, across all mainstream media, regarding the situation in Niger Republic. And most Nigerians hold this position that what is the interest of Nigeria in Niger Republic? What do we stand to gain or lose if we allow the military junta in Niger? Now, the answer is this. Niger has a bother with Nigeria, and with the electoral, or what people have referred to as an institutional coup that happened in Nigeria on the 25th of February 2023, where even the president of Liberia referred to the fact that if the ECOWAS cannot condemn an institutional coup, then they should not hasten to condemn a military coup. That there will be continued military intervention in Africa and West Africa, to be precise, as long as we fail to correct the institutional coup that continue to happen in West Africa. Now, the president of Nigeria, you can remember the FBI said that they will not release anything regarding him until 2026. of which by that time his first tenure might have come to an end. That is, if he is able to skate through the court proceedings. Now, what could be the interest of Nigeria in Niger? There's not really any interest of Nigeria in Niger, but the interest of the West. The West, we use Africa and West Africa to be precise, as a battlefield. You know that there is a war currently going on in Ukraine between the Russia and the Ukraine. Now, in order not to escalate what is happening in Ukraine and destroy all the investment of the Europeans in Europe, now they want to turn it to Africa and West Africa to be precise, whereby this war that is supposed to happen in European land will now be transferred to Africa. How? By the military intervention in Niger, and also the Nigerian and ECOWAS government trying to restore peace and order in Niger. The funny thing about this whole scenario is that in Niger, the people of Niger have, taken to the street to celebrate the military intervention in Niger. They are not really in support of the democratic regime. Rather, they prefer the military regime because of a monumental corruption that have engulfed the state over the years. Now, if the people of Niger are comfortable and happy, it means that there is no any security threat or anything that anyone should worry about in Niger. But be it that other West African countries are strongly afraid because of the kind of corruption that they have sold their hands into, they therefore don't want that to be successful in Niger. If not, Nigeria and other West African countries may experience a military coup in no distant time, as they also have a lot of corruption in their cabinets. Like we witnessed in Nigeria on the 25th of February, where people were not allowed to vote. Over 90 million Nigerians registered, to vote on the 25th of February and 3rd of March. But unfortunately, it never happened that the numbers, or even half of that number, came out to vote. Rather, we have less than 30 million people that came out to vote on the 25th of February and 18th of March. This is to show that a lot of people were disfranchised. And as a result, all eyes have been on the judiciary. Some Nigerians are also saying they don't care if the military take over in Nigeria, because those who are in power also hijack the power, just like the military junta would have done. Anyway, I will leave this for you to have this conversation at the comment section. Let's discuss what do you think about the military coup in Niger, and as ECOWAS will be intervening tomorrow being Sunday, as 7 days will elapse tomorrow if they don't restore the democratic elected president, as ECOWAS recognize only that as the only measures that they will not intervene in Niger. As we speak, the Sultan of Sokoto III and Abdusalami, who is a former army general in Nigeria, is in dialogue with the military junta in Niger. What will be the outcome of this, meeting? By tomorrow, will there be any resolution as to there will be no any military sanction or military intervention in Niger? Only time will tell. So therefore, let's have this conversation at the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. For those who are not subscribed, please, thank you for staying this far. Do well to subscribe to our channel.